this is the Data East cocktail cab I picked up. What are we doing? Willikers, what I'm going to be doing in the future is doing this bad boy up, what's left of it. I bought it as a bit of a project cab. It's a bit of a shell at the moment, pardon the darkness, I haven't great lighting here at the moment. Obviously you can see that the control panels don't exist anymore, but the guy I bought them off actually had a couple of custom ones made up, which I'll show you in a second. One depressing thing about this, that's the original top. Originally for vertical play, you can see the geniuses have actually gone, you know what, screw it, let's just jigsaw this original cocktail cab and make fucking something dumb. Oh god, you idiots. So that's made life a lot harder for me, because they've butchered the original top piece, which this one was. Basically I've got to make up a new one. Yeah, so I picked this up pretty cheap. So as I said, I've always wanted a cocktail cab because it's one of the first things I played as a kid. Because I could actually reach the controls and didn't have to stand up a... I think, well, it used to go on a booster seat or something like that to actually play an arcade cab when you were small. But I can play these ones quite easily. But yeah, I've always wanted one. So I've got the old arcade 60-in-1 board, which I'll whack in there. But I'm just going to give you a bit of an overlook of what in God's name I'm expecting over the next couple of months. So what I'm going to do is probably about a 4 or 5 part series on how to build one if you've got a shell like this, what parts you're going to require. So if any of you guys pick one of these fandangled things up, you can use this as a bit of a guide to set you straight and get your arcade dreams happening. Now the guy I bought it off is actually used the original top as sort of a template, but kind of modified it a little bit. What I'll probably do is I'll piss that off completely, and I'll use the original top there as an exact template to try and replicate the original machine. But what I'm not going to be doing is putting in a CRT or a proper arcade monitor, because the guys quite nicely supplied me with a nice little flat screen monitor, which is a lot easier for me to fuck around with. I don't have to buggerise around with all sorts of power and nerve-wracking arcade power issues and things like that. I just plug it into the old PCB and I'll be flying. So more about that in the coming weeks and months. So, but yeah, cool, flat screen for the win. Open Saskatchewan. Basically what we've got in here, I'll pull all this out in a sec so you can see it in proper light. That's what you can sort of see inside of the original cocktail cab. Not much in there at the moment, bit of a fan down there, bit of a speaker. I'll probably end up replacing that. I'll see how it works, and we might, if it's still okay, we'll use it. If not, yeah, we'll bugger it off and put a new one in. Coin mechs. Obviously, I've got the old coin mechs with me. Whether they work or not, I'll have to check them out and wire them up accordingly. I've got a coin box which drops into that hole, looks like a rat's cutout. But yeah, and that's the other flat screen monitor at the back. Kind of dodgy brothered in there. So yeah, what we'll do is what I'll show you, which is pretty cool, is I've got the see those silver things there, the actual new control panel which the guy had bent up. And I'll show you the original control panels that came with the thing, so just for a bit of historic value as well. The guy I bought it off, he actually had these basically not moulded, already pre-cut and bent. What was it, stainless steel? I don't know, it's pretty goddamn thick. That's probably about sort of 2 or 3 mil thickness. Not something you can easily bend with your hands. So, and that's already been pre-screwed and pre-drilled to the right sizes. Millimeters and things like that I'll get into later on when we're actually putting in buttons, and it depends on what size you want to use and things like that later on. But makes my life a little bit easier, sort of, because I got these big gaping holes. But the problem is, kind of don't fit. So what I've got to do is I've kind of got to make up somewhere for that to actually hook into and screw into place. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But it's in pretty bad shape at the moment. But yeah, look, with a bit of TLC and a bit of perseverance, we can probably get this beast up and going, much like we did our good old scratch cab I built a couple of years back. And even though it has been going in the past, it's just sitting there with everything pulled out of it. Sorry, cabinet. Now, just for a bit of historical purposes, I've actually got the original control pad, which actually went on those sides that you saw earlier. Obviously, it used to be an Astro Fighter cab, so that's it, the control panel there. Obviously, you can see it's pretty thrashed. That's like sort of a very thin aluminium sort of cover plate. Obviously, missile shoot button and left and right joystick. This has been hammered, unfortunately, scratched all the way through. I'm just going to keep this just for the sake of history, and if anyone goes, what did this used to be? I'll go, one of those. But just the odds of me trying to get something, especially in that aluminium, and tidy all that sort of stuff up, it's going to be pretty hard to find. So that was on one side. We also have this one came on the other side, which is, what have we got? Flip flop, hold, big hold, small hold, double up, hold, take something, not too sure, and a couple of red buttons there. Some of the decals have come off. But that was on the, oh gosh, that was on the other side. I'm not too sure how that game played out, but I'm sure obviously that's got something to do with it. So otherwise, if not, please fill me in. I'd love to know. But yeah, the things, unfortunately, look, a lot of these with these old, really old sort of machines, they're just, you find people have just butchered them to put in some fucking shitty PC to play Street Fighter on and things like that. Look, all credit to you. I do enjoy MAME and things like that, but I do find it kind of depressing that when people destroy old sort of old machines and things like that, just to sort of Frankenstein them into some sort of huge ultra MAME setup with where they've got the roller balls and they've got sort of, I don't know, a mouse, they can play Call of Duty on it. Who cares? Just leave it alone. It's supposed to play Pac-Man and things like that. So, so what I'm going to try and do with that one is just try and get it nice. Even though I'm putting an IK60 on it, it's still a classic game, so I'm kind of winning in that respect. I'm going to try and build it all up to scratch. Got some nice wood paneling on it. Wood panel. That was 70s and 80s. Cool. And probably the most expensive part of this process is probably going to get the glass top, get that tempered and things like that. Might be a while for that one because that's going to cost a bit. And yeah, mainly just what I'll go through is with the jammer harnesses, how to wire them up, what buttons to buy, where to buy from if you're in Australia, or I think they ship overseas from the place I get my stuff from, but look, there's plenty of other shops international as well. But yeah, basically, if you've got a hollow shell and you want to make, well, even for the kids to muck around on, you put an IK60 in one in, which you can pick up for about $100. Pop that into a computer monitor with a couple of easy buttons and things like that. Look, I'm not a freaking electronics genius, nor am I an arcade genius as well. I don't recap monitors or anything crazy like that. Everything's on the internet to teach you. So I'm trying to amass it all into a couple of videos for you, so you don't have to search too much. And I'll try and give as many links and as many hints and tips that I can with doing certain things. Because I remember when I first built that cab over there, man, I was just like, how? And like, I got a lot of help from the guys over at Aussie Arcade Forum, which is a forum I mentioned last episode, which are all like guys that they collect old cabs and things like that, and yeah, they were really helpful as well. So, but anyway, any questions, post down below. But otherwise, stay tuned for updates. It may not be soon, probably more so later, as financial situations coming into Christmas. It's going to be probably not on my main forte of things to do, but until then. You'll obviously stay subscribed, and yeah, well, I'll keep you posted on how this thing's travelling. So, as I said, any questions, post below, and otherwise, it's time for me to have a drink and think on how I'm going to put these freaking control pads in. This is going to be a big project.